set? Okay, let's do it. All right, well, good morning, everybody, and thank you for coming out for this very joyous and special day. On behalf of our board of directors at the Magnificent Mile and our leadership, welcome. My name is Dan Russell. I am very proud to serve as current chair of the Magnificent Mile, and in my day job, I'm the Chief Operating Officer of City Cruises, right down here on Navy Pier, longtime Chicagoan. Thank you to all of our friends here at the Drake, this beautiful hotel, for hosting us here today as we share some incredible news to kick off the holiday season here in Chicago. This weekend, the 30th annual BMO Harris Bank Magnificent Mile Lights Festival returns with its renowned parade, marshaled by none other than Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse from Walt Disney World Resort. They, too, are celebrating a big decade, their 50th year, and they're returning here to Chicago to help illuminate 1 million lights adorning more than 200 trees along our beautiful Michigan Avenue. This unique lighting event was founded by our longtime member, Mark Schulman of Eli's Cheesecake, of course. He and others wanted to create something special that would build business for the hotels, restaurants, and shops the weekend before Thanksgiving. And today, it has grown into a weekend-long event that now marks where the holidays begin for the nation. Thank you, Mark, for your vision. I understand a local reporter, Rick Kogan, interviewed you after your first event 30 years ago, and his conclusion was, this could be something big. And I think he was right. Many do not realize that this event is produced by the staff, members, and volunteers of the Magnificent Mile Association, including volunteer leadership from this year's chair, Gail Spreen, and vice chair, Grace Rapp. They oversee nearly 600 volunteers who step up each year to put on what is now America's largest evening parade and the third largest parade in the nation. On Friday afternoon, the weekend's festivities begin at 4 p.m. with the Wrigley Building's tree lighting celebration, starring musical entertainment by Grammy-nominated singer, actress, and Broadway star Deborah Cox and the Chicago Carolers for a very festive celebration as the building celebrates its centennial. Lights Festival Lane opens on Pioneer Court at 11 a.m. on Saturday and offers a variety of family-friendly activities hosted by our incredible sponsors, many of whom are standing on this stage with us here today. You will enjoy holiday activities and amazing parade content presented by our partners at BMO Harris, Walt Disney World Resort, Subaru of America, Eli's Cheesecake, T-Mobile, Walgreens, Choose Chicago, Thompson Coburn LLP, the Hilton Properties of Chicago, the Wrigley Building, and many more. Now the big one. The parade steps off from Oak Street and Michigan Avenue at 5:30 p.m. on Saturday and concludes with a luminous fireworks display over the Chicago River just before 7 p.m. ABC 7, Chicago's televised production, will be aired starting Sunday, November 21st at 6 p.m. in nearly every top market across the USA, plus Canada, throughout the entire holiday season. Proudly, this event continues to evolve and include more of our community. This year, in a program championed by BMO Harris Bank, Chicago public school students were provided a real-world, work-based STEM design challenge. As a result, students from Uplift Community High School and Curry Metropolitan High School created float concepts and designs for BMO Harris and for T-Mobile, and they'll debut at the parade this Saturday. We're very excited for that. We want to recognize the ongoing support of all of you in this room and your many years of investment in our Lights Festival. This event would not be what it is today were it not for you. I also want to thank the many employees and businesses in the Magnificent Mile District who welcome all of our guests with such creativity and hospitality this coming event weekend and all throughout the holiday season. Thank you. And now it's time to turn the mic over to my good friend and our president and CEO, Kimberly Bears, who will share some very important Lights Festival news. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan. I am especially grateful to your day job because they loan you to us for quite a bit. Thank you for your leadership and your dedication and commitment to the association. Well, it won't come as a surprise to share that financing this event was a challenge this year, among myriad other challenges. While we adapted to produce a television-only celebration last year, our dedicated team of volunteers and sponsors were determined, Gail Sprain, Grace Rapp, determined to ensure the 30th annual event returned and shined its light on Chicago's Magnificent Mile again. Before we divulge the details as to why we've gathered you all here today, I want to take this time to highlight some of the key economic factors that help make this event essential in our district and city and state. The Magnificent Mile District features 24,000 hotel rooms, 250,000 jobs filled by not only Chicago and Cook County residents, but residents from 99 out of 102 of Illinois' counties. We feature 110,000 residents, which, if on our own, would make us the 9th largest city in Illinois. Our district is also home to several of the most popular tourist attractions in the Midwest, including 360 Chicago, Navy Pier, the Museum of Contemporary Art, City Experiences Cruises, and other boat operators, and much, much more. The district has 65,000 pins and generates almost $2 billion in property taxes every year. And of course, it is known the world over for its wide boulevard, beautiful landscaping, iconic architecture, renowned restaurants, museums, attractions, hotels, and of course, shopping. This year, after a challenging 18 months due to that little global pandemic that we are still in, we needed a celebration. We needed to welcome families to North Michigan Avenue, to fill our hotels and restaurants and retail, to start our holiday season the only way we can, with a parade built by a community. We have an incredible community of businesses, sponsors, and partners, and we are so lucky to have the foresight and investment of our elected officials. Today, we're thrilled to announce that Governor Pritzker has approved awarding the Magnificent Mile Association a state grant of more than $400,000. That grant comes through the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunities, Tourism and Attractions and Festivals Grant Program, and it supports the 30th annual BMO Harris Magnificent Mile Lights Festival. Thank you. We offer our gratitude to the many business leaders and officials who helped ensure this event rose to the top of considerations. I'd like to recognize State Representative Cam Buckner from the 26th District, who is with his partner welcoming their child today. That's the most unusual reason for not attending the press conference that I've heard. And we can fact check that. State Senator Sarah Feigenholtz of the 6th District, who leads the Tourism and Hospitality Committee and is supported by Illinois Representative Lamont Robinson. Sylvia Garcia, Acting Director of the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, and Carla Flannery, here with us on the stage, Deputy Director of the Illinois Office of Tourism and their teams. Alderman Brian Hopkins of the 2nd Ward on the stage with us, Alderman Brendan Riley of the 42nd Ward, and I'd also like to give major props to some very special people who, in our community, really put an amazing amount of work and energy into making the festival happen this year. Grant DePorter from Harry Carey's Restaurant Group. Grant. Mark Schulman of Eli's Cheesecake and the founder of the event. Michael Jacobson, President and CEO of the Hotel and Lodging Association of Illinois. And Bob Ryder, who couldn't, two people who couldn't be with us this morning. Bob Ryder, who's the president of the Chicago Federation of Labor, and Sam Toya, president and CEO of the Illinois Restaurant Association. And now, I have the distinct honor and privilege of introducing our esteemed guest, the 43rd Governor of the state of Illinois, JB Pritzker. I have some more words, just a couple. Since January 2019, he has invested his heart and soul into helping make Illinois a premier place to live, work, build business, and yes, celebrate. Governor, we're deeply honored to have you with us today, and we appreciate all you're doing to help the state's economy in critical sectors like hospitality and tourism not only rebound, but grow after what has been an incredibly difficult past 2 years. I want to thank you on behalf of the association and our leadership for your steadfast leadership and your commitment to ensuring that Illinois remains the best place in the country to realize the American dream, to raise a family, and to celebrate being together at the holidays. Governor?
Well, thank you very much for that very kind introduction. I want to say what a terrific moment it is for all of us being together again in person as we celebrate this announcement. So I want to say first, good morning, Chicago, and good morning also, and thank you to both Kimberly and Dan. It really is thrilling to be back here on Michigan Avenue to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the BMO Magnificent Mile Lights Festival. It's a tradition that we all so much love. It's fitting to be celebrating our return here at the Drake, which has been the most consistent landmark, keeping Michigan Avenue sparkling and shining during the holiday seasons. At 100 years old, the Drake itself has an awful lot to celebrate. I'd also like to thank the many community and corporate sponsors. I know that Dan ran through them for you, but really they deserve another recognition here because they've done so much to help the Magnificent Mile Lights Festival shine year after year. That includes, of course, BMO Harris Bank and Walt Disney World Resorts, ABC7 Chicago. Thank you for helping to broadcast this, Subaru and T-Mobile and Walgreens, Hilton's of Chicago, Thompson Coburn LLP, Eli's Cheesecake, which I admit to having had too much of over the years, the Wrigley Building, and so much more, so many more. This year's festival truly is special. After we all spent last year's holiday season apart, so that we could keep each other safe from the pandemic. This year, I'm cherishing every opportunity for togetherness, from going out with friends to shopping and celebrating on the Mag Mile. For 30 years, the Lights Festival has been a tradition for so many families' holiday memories. People from, not just from Chicago, but all over the world. Countless young parents, though, who live here have literally grown up with this tradition, and I can't wait to see it passed along to the next generation. The festival's endurance is a testament to the vision and the leadership of Mark Schulman and the Magnificent Mile Association, who created this Chicago hallmark as a meaningful way to invite families to enjoy the excitement and the beauty of Michigan Avenue. And because the parade is scheduled to be broadcast across the country and abroad, we aren't just welcoming Chicagoans back to this beloved tradition, we're inviting the world back to the Magnificent Mile. The state of Illinois wanted to ensure that this festival returned bigger and better than ever, and so I'm very proud that our tourism grant could help ensure that it had the funding necessary to bring it back to Mag Mile. It's just one of the ways that my administration is investing in our local economies and protecting the cultural touchstones of our great state. As part of our pandemic recovery, we're also deploying $50 million to revitalize commercial corridors all across the state of Illinois. With 1 million visitors expected to return to Chicago this weekend, the festival will fill 10,000 hotel rooms and spur over $26 million in holiday spending, maybe more. That's a holiday gift that Chicago businesses and workers know will keep on giving. Most importantly, it's a chance to celebrate the Chicago that we missed so dearly last year during this holiday season. It was a challenging time, as you recall. 1 year ago. It was the worst moment, really, of the pandemic. But the cultural hub that dazzles us all is the city of Chicago and its energy and its beauty. And so being back together this year for this festival really means so much to all of us. I'm so excited for the Festival of Lights to bring us together and to return us to this great tradition. So now I have a proclamation that I'd like to share with all of you, and we have a special deliverer of that proclamation here today. Santa! Welcome, Santa.
Thank you. I'm here to present this to you.
Great to see you. Thank you for giving it to me, and I appreciate everything you do during this holiday season. I know you're building your toys and making sure that we're all going to get something if we've done something good this year, right?
Absolutely.
Welcome, and thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
And I want to present this proclamation. Dan, if you'll join me, come on up here. I want to present this to you. Let me make sure that I read properly from the proclamation. I'm declaring this coming Saturday the official Magnificent Mile Lights Festival Day all across the state of Illinois. So thank you for all the work that you've done, and congratulations and a happy holiday season to everyone that's joined us and at home as well. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Governor.
Thank you, Santa. Unless Santa would like to take questions from the media, I'm happy to take any questions. I see we have a few reporters here today. And, of course, the leaders here who've created this phenomenal festival. Yeah, in fact, I'll invite you up if you want to talk about how you're spending it.
Yes, the total budget for the event is over $1 million. Yes, I thank you for having that look. I don't think people quite understand what it takes to put this event on, and with it being the third largest, our budget dwarfs in comparison to the other two parades, the Rose Bowl and Macy's Day Parade. So we're third behind them, and we do it for just north of $1 million, and with almost all volunteer help. Sure. It was a difficult year to do. A year ago, it was very hard to look forward and anticipate where we would be in the pandemic. It was also a difficult time for our sponsors in terms of knowing whether they would be able to allocate sponsorship dollars. So this funding was the last crucial piece to allow us to put the parade on as we wanted. So you'll see the 30th annual parade much in the same format, in fact, slightly better in some ways as compared to previous years, but that we wouldn't have been able to do it without the state funding. Well, safety is always our first and primary concern, and this year is certainly no exception. We've already had our 40-member safety and security meeting with members from the Chicago Police Department, both districts, deputy chiefs, Chicago Fire, OEMC, making sure that we have an airtight security plan. We'll have a control center that day where we had a volunteer training session last night and made sure that all of our volunteers were trained on safety protocol. But I mean, the number one thing is, and this the police will say, we'll say this too, if you see something, say something. So we've got all of our resources deployed, the city's resources deployed, and then of course, if there's anything that anyone were to see that looks amiss, make sure to flag down a police officer or someone in one of our volunteer coats. Absolutely, yes. The people that we hope to delight the most are the young.
Well, it's hugely important that we protect our police as they protect us. And in fact, we've made investments in trying to protect, I know, at least at the state level, our state police, for example. And so I haven't read the details of what they proposed yesterday or the day before, but I know that it's important for all of us to recognize that our police are out there protecting us, so we need to protect them. It's hard to tell. I don't know why that number was chosen. I'm not sure how they're suggesting that it should be allocated, so it's hard to address the number itself. But again, very important that we focus on making sure that our police are safe. Actually, I believe that this will help rehire many of those people who were laid off. Remember, there's a lot of transition going on within the auto industry. That's what we're playing into here. We want to make sure that we're on the rising end of that transition. So for Stellantis, for Belvidere, very important for us to make those kinds of investments. I think you saw the leadership of Stellantis as well as the leadership of the UAW and the leadership of the, in the area of Rockford and Belvidere at that press conference supporting what we've done. Yes. And there are some incentives that are built in here for automakers in general. But for example, the Belvidere plant, one suggestion that's been made that I've heard is that the Belvidere plant might be producing parts for electric vehicles. Whether they're producing an electric vehicle in the exact building that they're in or not, parts can be manufactured there for an electric vehicle. And we hope to see large installations not only of car assembly plants, but of the battery plants that will go really next door to them or very nearby because of the weight of batteries and installing them in those cars means they really don't want to have those batteries travel very far. One of the great things about the state of Illinois for the electric vehicle industry is that because we have distribution points all across our state and we literally have the best transportation systems, all 7 railroads, major highways, 18,000 miles of highways, and we have a major infrastructure bill that we passed and started investing in our roads and bridges and airports 2 years ago. Because of all of that, businesses, now that we have this incentive for electric vehicle manufacturers, want to come to places like Belvidere and to Normal, Illinois, and to Joliet, Illinois, where we have, as you know, Rivian and Lion Electric. I'm sorry, might we have offered, or what kind of help are we, or what kind of security have we deployed? So, yeah, all of that, okay. With regard to the Rittenhouse verdict, and I haven't heard anything while we've been here, but of course, our safety officials, our public safety officials for the state of Illinois, state police in particular, but our coordinators have been in regular discussion not only with the city of Chicago but also with northern suburbs that border Wisconsin to make sure that we're providing the support that they need where they need it. And so I'm pleased so far with the coordination that's gone on. I don't know whether, as we've always said, the National Guard sits one iteration behind state police because National Guard, generally speaking, are not trained to do crowd control. They're trained to go to war. They have a lot of assets, though, that can be very helpful if you've got disorder, for example. And so we always keep them kind of, again, one iteration behind state police who operate in an emergency. They really can show up at a moment's notice. We have hundreds that can be deployed to any location.
Thank you, everyone. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.